Full Monday morning. All right, guys, happy Monday, April 22nd, 8:35, coming to you full of energy, full of excitement, full of a little bit of pasta, but just feeling very, very grateful to start off a new week with you guys. And so let's go full tilt. I'm going to go have somebody bring us out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning like we always do. So that person is center screen, and that person is Brandy Alfonso. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field. Even if I hear the babies in the background, it's okay. Share with us your sentiment, bring us out of the tunnel out on the field for this Monday, the start of our new week. Let's go.
Put me on the spot.
I know. Hey, listen, you know, if you've come here enough times, that's going to happen. So let's go.
I know. For some reason, I was waiting for it. And luckily the babies are chilling, so they're good. I will say I had a really great weekend. So I'm like rolling on. I always say if you start your Sunday and you keep it good, the rest of the week is just gonna follow that. So I mean, everybody walks in like Monday is the start of the day, and I look at like Sunday is the start of my week, and
Okay.
so it like makes me look forward to Mondays. So I went and met a lot of people over the weekend for some new construction that opened up over here, and it just started my Monday like. I'm just ready. Like, I'm like, okay, so whatever your plans and your goals are, just keep at it. Keep at it. It's going to work.
Love it. I love it. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for being on. Thanks for being present. I appreciate it. You guys, there's a few things I want to share with you. I want to have a quick conversation, but then we're going to go to the board. If you've never been here before, go to the board is a very, very simple exercise. And for the people that haven't done this with me, please do it now. For the people that have done it, let's do it again. All you're going to do is you're going to put a small little box on a piece of paper. I don't care if it's on a Post-it. I don't care if it's in your notebook. Wherever it is, I want you to put just a small little box. And maybe you put a couple boxes. Maybe it's 2 or 3. And the point is inside of that box goes your numbers. How many conversations did you have? How many appointments did you go on last week? That's literally it. And the moment that your mind starts thinking, well, I didn't because and then, oh my God. And then the kid, like, that's all your stories. And I love you, but I don't care. I just don't care about the stories. The only thing that fits in that small little box is the numbers, and that is your results. And so when we have these Monday calls about moving the needle, it is about really looking at your business and saying, what are the income producing activities that I could put in my flow right now that are going to give me results? Get out of your inbox, get out of your Canva, get out of just networking and not doing anything. Those things are all important. But if you're not actually going out there, shaking hands, making connections, booking appointments, showing homes, then you're never going to grow in this business. And we know that. We know the sequence, we know the cadence. And so we're going to go to the board in just a little bit. So write your boxes and we'll come back to that in a couple minutes. But I had a question, and let me just start it out with the general question because I love survey questions. How many people on this call feel like they're pretty influential? Like if they're in a group of people, if they're talking, and I don't care if it's not real estate, whether it's leading the charge in your community or your children or your friends, or you're the one that rallies them to go to the next bar, eat at this restaurant, go to this place. I don't care where it is. Like, how many of you feel like you are influential in some way, shape, or form? Just throw a hand up or put an emoji on the screen. Okay, cool. Cool. So I want to take you guys through a quick exercise, and this exercise is rooted in really being a self-aware human being and looking at yourself and saying, okay, there's been times where I've been super, super influential, and we'll go there in a moment, but there's also been times where I probably have not been that influential. How many of you in the recent years have ever been in a real estate conversation and that person just did not connect with whatever you were saying about the market or why they shouldn't wait or that we're not having a crash or you should list your home or you should buy now? How many of you have ever been in those conversations in the recent months, recent years, and you felt like the conversation didn't land, like you weren't able to connect? Does that happen to anybody on this call? Please raise your hand because I'm sure it's happened to everybody. Okay, good. So now we have like a consensus. So I want you guys to think about this. And if anybody wants to raise their hand on this, get involved in this conversation. Once we do this, we're going to go to the board and I'm going to put everybody in focus groups. We're going to do some breakout rooms in a minute. But tell me a time or think about a time that you didn't feel that influential, that nobody listened to the message, Was it your appearance? Was it your credibility? Was it all of the above? Was it something else? Why do you think people did not listen? Was it your cadence? Was it your lack of preparedness? Did you not have your flow down? Did you just stutter all over your words? Did you have so much vocabulary graffiti that they didn't take your message because all you said was ums, ahs, so's, and you just polluted your entire presentation? Think about a time where you were not influential, and I want you to hold on to that for a second. Was it a conversation that didn't land? Was it a pitch that didn't land? Like, think about that. I'm sure all of you have something that comes to mind, whether it's real estate related, whether it's academic related, whether it was in your past life. I'm sure there's a time. Before I go any further, has something already came to mind? Please raise your hand or give me an emoji if something has already came to mind where you felt like your message didn't land and that you weren't as influential as you had hoped you had been going into that conversation. Please raise your hand so I can see with an emoji on the screen, because I got a lot of people on the screen, so give me an emoji. Okay, so Erica, Lisa Torres, I think I saw another hand go up from Natalie. I'm sure I should see more. Okay, so Darnell, hold on, let me pause for a second, bro. I haven't seen the baby. Can we all see her? All right, and for the people that don't know, Darnell, what's her name?
Her name is Kyla Nico.
Man, I'll tell you.
Somebody want to see you, mamas.
Hi, it's Uncle E. You're gonna hear my voice a lot growing up. How special. Let's just take a moment, you guys, because for all the people on
A
this,
healthy baby.
God, for all the people on this call that have children that remember that little football-sized little baby that you would just hold just like that, man. And then you turn around and they're sassy. And you turn around, they got legs like this. So,
She's already rolled her eyes at me twice.
that's
Had to
right.
pop her.
Well, listen, I had to pause for a second because I am
Thank you.
beyond excited for you and your lady, and hopefully mom is doing well, recovering, and looks like baby is doing well. So, sorry, back to the point. There was a time that we didn't feel influential, whether it was what we wore, what we said, the cadence, the rhythm, our presentation was not as prepared as it should have been, and that message didn't land for whatever reason it is. And I want you to go there because what I want you to do is I want you to be super, super aware. And I also want you to be conscious and I want you to be humble about, man, I fumbled all over my words, or I just try to prepare an hour before and then I hit the stage and I have my keynote and I couldn't even get my thoughts in alignment. And I'll share a story with you before I get to any of the hands. I saw a guy once and they say when you do a keynote, an amateur brings notes, a professional doesn't. And you should never bring notes on stage if you're ever going to do a keynote. And this is just my opinion. Now, this person brought a series of notes, right? They had flashcards. Well, in doing his presentation, he lost the order of his flashcards. So what happened to his presentation is that he forgot what he was going to say, he forgot what slide he was on, and the presentation didn't land. So in a time where I think back of someone that I've witnessed that is an influential person, but delivered a message that wasn't influential because he wasn't as prepared as he could have been, that message didn't land and it could have landed at a very, very high level. So I want you to go there and want you to be conscious. And obviously you could probably see the trend here and there's going to be the other flip of the coin here. But Erica, I want to go to you. If you can briefly, I don't know if we have background noise, if you can tell me if you have the ability to talk to us about a time that you felt that you weren't as influential. And if you were to go back to that moment, what was it? Was it what you said, what you wore, how you spoke, your lack of preparedness? What was it in that moment you feel that your message didn't land?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry if there's background noise. I forgot my earphones, but I feel like this is an everyday thing with my son, actually. I also think it's my delivery. I need to work on my delivery, but just like talking to anybody else in the world, delivery is a very important thing to keep in mind because it's all about how the other person takes it in and how your flow goes. So I think I need to work on that. But every day I deal with that with my son, Caleb. We don't see eye to eye all the time. And I want to put him on the same page as me. But sometimes a little 5-year-old just doesn't get what a 25-year-old has to say,
Yeah, yeah, I get that 100%. So I appreciate it. And I'm going to come back to you in a second. I'm going to go to Darnell once he comes back on frame. Darnell, I don't know if you have a moment, but talk to me, my man. You are a composer, you're a musician. I'm sure that there's been times where you've had to present something as well as in business. Talk to me about a time where you feel you were not as influential as you had hoped to be. Was it what you wore, what you said, lack of preparedness? What was it that you feel like that message didn't land? And give us the
I,
scenario.
I have some scenarios of music that I can probably conjure up, but what came to mind at first was going to the gym. I have a lot of brothers, and I mean, we've put together plenty of things in our lifetime, but not many things that we have today, right? Not many projects or businesses that we can hold on to today. And I wanted the gym to be something that could be a consistent thing that we established that could trickle down into something else productive and just ultimately being productive. And I feel like I might be a little aggressive and kind of get with it or don't, like get with it or just stay, you know, weak. And it may not come across the right way. And I got to learn how to articulate myself in a way that people need to hear, you know, and instead of what I feel like I need to hear and pushing that on others. I think I need to do a better job at reading people and understanding what they need to really grab the message. I think that's what I need to work on.
So this is perfect. That's why we're having this conversation, you guys. So up to this point, Darnell, had you given this much thought, or was like, damn, you're weak, man. You need to get up in the gym and work your body out. Have you given it much thought of the influence of the words of this of the approach that you actually had with them?
Definitely. Definitely. And I feel like I kind of leaned on the fact that we are brothers to kind of say we've been talking shit to each other our whole lives. So why should this be any different? This should be one of the things that I should be able to talk shit about rather than, you know, the other stuff that just is meaningless. You know, we can joke on each other and do all that type of stuff. But when it gets serious with it, when it's something like this that I feel like is adding value to our lives, I think I need to do a better job at making it, I don't know, making it so that it's not as aggressive.
I love
That's
it.
the
I love
thought.
it. So let me ask you, are both your parents around, mom and dad?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I take it you probably want to live a long life for them, right? You want to be in the best health for them, right? Be able to put
Yeah.
mom and dad on, be able to take care of them. And then how many of your brothers are parents?
3.
Three of them. How many brothers do you
Mm-hmm.
have?
5.
Damn. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So the point here, it's like maybe the approach is a little bit different as, hey, we're dads now. We want to be able to throw the ball. We want to make sure to be there for our parents. We want to make sure that our health is good so we can raise our babies and live this life of vitality. And I want your guys' support and I want to be in the gym with you. Because I got 3 brothers too, right? And the more I push my brothers, the farther away they go. The farther away
Yes.
they go. It's same with my daughter. Like she's 19 years old and we push, let's go to the gym, let's go to the gym, let's go to the gym. And then she chose on her own to do 75-day hard. And now we're done with 75-day hard and it's all on her, right? But she's still,
Congratulations
or
too.
she's still, thank you, my man. And congrats to her. 19 years old. A lot of us were not doing what she's doing at 19 years old. But I appreciate your perspective. Let's go to JJ. We'll get one more and then we'll go to the other side of the coin here. JJ, let's hear from you, big dog.
Sorry, I had to get the mic. So, mine is easy. I'm not very patient. And I know I got a lot of very useful information. And unfortunately, I grew up in an era where when you were the person who was receiving the information, you just took it how it came and you were quiet and you dealt with it. And so now I think I'm pretty effective. But I think I could be much more effective if I were able to start realizing that everybody doesn't necessarily want to hear things direct, which come off as harsh. And so, yeah, that's my biggest thing that I've been trying to work on is that, I see the obvious stuff and it's pretty simple to me. And so I get impatient quickly. And I think I could be just much more effective communicating with people to get the information that I can provide for them.
Are you that direct with your wife, or is there a softer side of JJ with your wife?
Unfortunately for her, I'm pretty direct, and she was able to deal with it for 26 years now. So yeah, but there are times where, you know what I mean? We there were a couple of times where we were really in rough spots, and I had to recognize it. But no, yeah, I get what you're saying. Unfortunately, at 52, and I don't want to sound arrogant about this, but the world bends around me now because of where I am financially and status in my family. So it's a lot easier for me to just steamroll things, and I realize that that's not the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I could, you know, it's the same. Like it's real easy. I can just, yeah. You don't want to hear it. I don't care. It makes no difference in my life. And then my life is exactly how I want it because, like I said, financially and where I am with my age and status, people very rarely challenge me. And it's not a good thing, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? It's not at all a good thing to be able to run through life without people saying, "Hey, dummy, there's better ways to do this."
Mm.
And you're one of the few that calls me out, and I like it.
Well, hey man, I love your edge and I love your approach too. But I experienced that in my own household. You know, my wife's like, okay, you don't have to be so short. Like, I'm just like, no, let's get it done. She's like, okay, coach. I'm just like, no, we're gonna get this done. We're gonna do it this way. Okay, babe. She's 13. Like, and so I
Yeah,
experienced it
yeah.
too, my man. But that's one of the things that makes you great. And so I love this. Let's go to the other side of this. Tell me about a time where you felt like you were super influential. The presentation went right. Why do you think people listened to you? Was it the way that you prepared, the way that you asked questions, the way that you showed up? Like, what was it that really made that presentation super influential? Because what I want you guys to do is I want you to be aware, and this lesson comes directly from this book, Amplify Your Influence. And I've been really diving deep into Rene Rodriguez. I had spent some time with him. We went to dinner, and then I've been on calls with him recently. And I just want to be in his world because his whole approach is rooted in psychology, and I really connected with that. And he said there's so many things in your growth map, right? When you're looking at your business and your life as a map and sequences of what you've already been able to do and accomplish in your life and in your business, those things are all the cues that you have for the next level, right? If Darnell, who's going to speak right now, did a presentation and he had super high levels of influence, the way that he connected, why people listened to him, what their feedback was, now he has something to say, you know what? This is what I can do to be the most influential in any type of presentation or any type of performance that I do. And so I'm curious to know the other side of this. Let's go to you, Darnell. You had your hand up. Let's hear the other side of this.
Yeah, I got excited because it actually reminded me of a moment in the studio that I hold near and dear. It was, I mean, I'm trusted as an audio engineer and I'm trusted in that field and industry, but artists are going to do whatever they're going to do. You know, they're going to do what they want. And unfortunately, a lot of them like to come in, make songs, say they're the best at this, the best at that, and then the song never sees the light of day. And I feel like I'm wasting my time when I put hours and hours into a song that never gets released. So I remember having a moment where I was talking to one of my artists and I was telling him, look, I love working with you. I love this song. I'm going to put my time into it. If you don't drop it, don't call me again. let's just hang it up. You know, let's just not do it because I'm not going to waste your time. So in that, I was very passionate and I was very serious and stern, but I also said, no, I'm going to help you with the process of the release. I'm going to help you with the layout and everything. And after the fact, that was our first song that we got on NBA 2K 2021, I believe. Yeah. So that was our first video game placement after he listened and we did our rollout and did everything we were supposed to do. And we ended up getting on a video game. So I was very proud of that moment.
Yes, I love this. I love this. And here's what I want you guys to do is I want you to realize when you're on, every single person that's been on this call has been in the moment you're like, oh my God, that felt good. Like my flow, my cadence, my rhythm, my questions, my connection was next level. And I want you to reflect on that. And then I want you to work on a sequence of duplicating that every single time because he knows exactly why he was influential in that moment. this is all about reflection. So Darnell, I love that. Love that for you. I love that for him. Let's go to Cynthia. We'll go to Otis. And we'll start, we'll shift gears on the conversation. Let's go, Cynthia.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So that moment for me, well, I've had a few of them, but this one in particular stands out. I won a business pitch, and in order to win, I won first place, and it was a competition between myself and 11 other contestants. And clearly, everybody was on their A game. But for these reasons, I stood out. And I have a skincare product line. And so when I pitched to the product itself, my experience in the industry, my my success rate, and all of those other things. And it was before a panel of heavy hitters. We're talking bank presidents and all these other people, right? So and the greatest part of it was I was challenged by my mother was ill. And so in that very day, I picked her up from the hospital, dropped her off. And so I had all this other stuff going. So I had to deliver with all of that happening in my head. So I shifted gears, I switched, I put on my hat because I literally took off the caring, the caregiver hat and put on the hat of I have to make this happen because I got to be able to take care of her and everything else. And in order to do that, I need this lump sum of money so that I can keep my business going and blah, blah, blah. So it was an incredible moment. But the reason why it happened was because I was prepared. So despite the fact that I had all this pressure, once I relaxed and got rid of the pressure, just set that aside for the moment. And as soon as I won the pitch, I called her, she congratulated me, and then I got right back into caregiver mode. But I was able to shift gears in those ways that, excuse me, that I had. So I'm sorry, I was just running. I'm ready to get back to the computer. So,
I love it.
So that's it in a nutshell.
I love it, Cynthia, and I appreciate you sharing. And let's stay here for a second. So she did a sales pitch in front of a panel. I want you guys to ask yourself that question right now. If you were to go on Shark Tank, and I will always use the Shark Tank analogy because I think we can all relate to this. If you were to go on Shark Tank right now and you were to pitch your real estate business and why are you the go-to agent in your market and why people should choose to work with you and your marketing and your background and your authenticity, and you had a 2-minute window to pitch why somebody should work with you, would that message land? Would that message land? And that's how I want you to think about that, is that, man, is my business Shark Tankable? Can I influence people to want to work with me right now? And I believe that every single person on this call could do that if you were able to get past your own fears and you were prepared, like Cynthia just said. So Cynthia, good stuff. Darnell, great stuff. Let's go to Otis and we'll shift gears on the conversation.
I'm so sorry. I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I cannot wait until I can transfer those skills over here to this side.
Well, you already are. So thanks for being a coaching.
Okay.
So let's keep cruising. Let's go, Otis. Hit him.
Man, this takes me back to times where I started doing radio and interviews. Like when I first started, like I wasn't as good as I had gotten, but just over time, dealing with so many different people, so many different personalities, attitudes, devos, like everything, you know what I mean? And then when I escalated my game from just a local game and started working with promoters and stuff and started doing bigger name celebrities, it was like after maybe like 5 or 6 real big ones, people are like, don't you get nervous? Like, don't you freeze up? Don't you get starstruck? And it's kind of like how it is in real estate now. I didn't have the time, just like how deals aren't 100%. None of those interviews, majority of them weren't scheduled. It was just me, being able to break ice, make eye contact. Like you said, if your business, if you're on Shark Tank, like I think that I possibly would be able to put a conversation enough that's good enough to catch it. Cause it's like, it would be talking to another billionaire. You're different. I mean, obviously I can sit here and tell you everything about any type of formula. Everybody has a formula, but what the difference with me is I'm that connector. I'm that person just like you. I'm going to be that name that stands out from everybody else just cause I'm going to be able to connect. it isn't really so much about the formula. It's always about connecting in sales, anything in life. So I've always thought that every step that I have gotten to my life have gotten me to be the realtor that I am today. Those interactions with people and artists over the years, from smaller to higher, just like lower to higher clientele. And literally, like, I've been doing pretty good, for the last year and a half, but it really dawned on me like this past month, because some buyers consultations I've been doing, partnering with people and just like spewing out. It's like so crazy now, because it's like it's just coming out of my mouth, and it's like I'm not even really thinking of it. It's just spewing out. And the other day I really recognized it. I talked to Rakitha the next morning after I had to do a buyer's consultation basically in 20 minutes, because this listing agent was honest about getting the deal in. And some of the analogies that I'm able to plug in, just crazy while I was talking. I talked about, I said, take an orange for an example. Like, you don't want to super underbid this guy. We don't want to disrespect him, because we don't want to squeeze all our juice out of this orange in one squeeze, because we might not have the proper squeeze right now to squeeze all the juice out. Because he wanted to basically 770 go down to 750. And at the end of the day, that's how we lost, because the 770 where me, him, and Rakitha basically agreed to before he made his decision was the final number that we got into a multiple counter with. So if we would have started there, we would have definitely got it. And I kept using it. I was like, okay, we can do 770 and we'll still be able to peel back some money because there's no inspections. And they didn't put as is in this transaction. So the selling side is telling us something. They're going to obviously be willing to do this, because if they weren't, they would have gotten in the position to get the reports done. He didn't want to listen, so we end up getting back into a backup position. So it's hard sometimes when you got the winning formula, but it just don't win. In this case, we had the winning formula, but he didn't want to listen, so we lost. But she just congratulated me the next morning, was like, man, you was talking that shit. And it made me feel good, because not only was another agent, it's somebody on my team who I consider my sister. So just feeling good that knowing I've arrived in this space, not only, to myself, to management, the other people on the team, but, individual people in itself, and then coming together with like 8 agents together and working with them highly at a high level. It just makes me feel good for my transition where I know I'm going.
Man, I absolutely love this. I love it. And I always love your contributions. I'm going to read this to you guys, and I want you guys to really focus on this. Pay attention to anything that you encounter that you quickly embraced in your presentation. That's also how others felt when they received your message, right? There's something beautiful that happens when you're dancing poetically with the consumer, when they are receiving the information as you are giving the information. It is a beautiful dance because you're asking the right questions, you're building the right bonds, you're making sure that you're stopping, slowing down, and saying, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that part of the conversation? All right, cool. Let's keep cruising on. I want to make sure that we keep you on time. Whatever that looks like, you have to make sure that you have these small milestones and test it. And then also be like, Brandy, I noticed we broke eye contact for a second right there. Or when I said that word, something happened. Let me pause for a second. What happened right there? And I promise you guys, if you are able to look at the small little nuances, the small little cues, when a couple looks at their husband or looks at the wife and they make this like contact, and you're on tour, like, all right, guys, what just happened right there at the fireplace? Oh, well, this just reminded us of whatever, or this just happened. Like, being able to find those moments, I promise you guys, if you look for them, you'll find them. And if you call them out in a very nice way, because you want to know what happened, you'll be able to build and become even more influential in those moments. And it's such a poetic thing. It's not about building rapport. It's about truly building a connection with the human being. When you build the true connection with the human, that's when influence starts. That's when you guys are the most influential, when you have formed this bond with another human. Because until then, all they hear is words. And you're talking straight to the brain. And that makes sense for the engineer types of the world. However, not everyone's an engineer. It's the moment that you connect those words with a heart and an emotion and a feeling. That's when you become influential. That's when your message starts to land, and all the other stuff is just filling in that process. So I love this conversation, you guys. Highly recommend that you read this book, dive in. Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to put everybody into breakout rooms, and here's what I want you to do. If you're in a breakout room, do not be silent. This is your opportunity to speak. I want you guys to write down exactly what your goal is for the week. 20 conversations, 10, reels, 5, open house. I don't care what it is. It's your numbers, not mine. But every single person in that breakout room is to contribute. Do not be silent. Do not say, I don't know, I don't have one. Because if you don't have a goal for the week of what you're actually going to accomplish, you're selling yourself short and you're selling your consumers short. This is a time where we need to truly, truly reflect and say, what's going to move my needle in my business? Because that's why I'm here. I'm here to change lives. I'm here to make money. I'm here to impact my community. I'm here to create all those things that we talk about. So let's get after it. I'm going to put everyone in breakout rooms. All I want you guys to do is to spend 10 minutes, go around the room, and don't stop until everyone in that group has spoke. And then we're going to come back in our group here, and I'm going to have a spokesperson for every single group. And hopefully that's some person that hasn't spoke already on coaching or has never spoke. So I'm going to break you into breakout rooms right now. Goals for the week, high level. And listen, no fucking stories. No, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do this. Well, I wanted to. I'm going to do some door knocking. How many? I want to know exact numbers of what you're committed to this week that's going to move your business. Remember, your box is so small. No excuses, no bullshit, and no stories fit into that box. So let's get into breakout rooms right now. 10 minutes, you guys. I'm going to assign this right now. You guys go there, have some fun with each other, push each other. Let's get involved in this conversation. I'm going to create these groups here. You guys will see your groups. Go ahead and hop in those, and we'll be back here at 9:15. So let's go now. Good, good. Yeah, I didn't have a name for you on the screen, so I didn't know who that was. All right,
I didn't
guys.
know it was popping up like that. I'm coming to the office today. I have a buyer's console
Beautiful. Which office? Oakland or Hayward?
in Oakland.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's some Zillow people that I met like last week. I had a show and it went pretty good.
All right,
But
good.
they're new, so they don't understand like the whole process. So I'm gonna go over that with them.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right, everyone's coming back. Everyone's coming back. I missed you guys. Jeez.
I was in the middle of a sentence. You killed me.
I gave you a heads up. I gave you a 3-minute window.
This is the first time I didn't back out the thing when it pops up the first time.
All right, good. Well, listen, since Janice had something to say, Janice, I'm gonna have you be the representative from your breakout room. Tell me first. Yeah. No, oh no, this is group coaching. This isn't group listening. All right, let's just go to you first, Janice. Janice, tell me about your personal goals. Let's go to the board for this week. What are you committed, no stories, no excuses, no bullshit, to achieving in your business this week? Let's go.
Putting up 3 Instagram reels.
Okay, cool. I love that. Love that. And I don't care about what it is. I'm just so appreciative that you have that as a goal. Now tell me about a goal from one other person in your group. Represent.
Putting up Instagram reels.
Who?
I think it was
Darnell.
Jericho.
Darnell.
Yeah, Darnell.
Yeah.
Darnell,
Okay, that's
Jericho.
not
I
what
gotta
it says.
put my name up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And let's go a step little further on this. And why is it important for you, Janice, to put up 3 Instagram reels this week?
Because y'all said I need to, and I hate Instagram.
All right, cool. And by doing that, does that give you obviously more reach, more opportunities?
Yes.
All right. So let's give Janice some love and some light. She's got a cool style. She's got a cool vibe. I saw you with your hair down. You got cool hair. Like, own that space. What we because here's the thing. Let me say this, and this is fake. Do you like this?
Who doesn't like that? I
Okay.
preferred if it was green, but they turned blue. So-
Exactly. But here's the thing, and it's just an analogy. If someone said, hey, you have an opportunity to go serve people, and on the other end of it, you can make this money, you're like, all right, cool, I'll go. And so the fear or the trepidation or the dislike of the thing that you say outwardly, it's not even a thing, right? Because you know you would run to that money. Shit, move out of the way. I'll create a reel. I'll do whatever So was it actually the real? No, it's just you have to get comfortable doing the thing that you're telling yourself right now that you're not. But I promise you this. I don't know you much, but I promise that there's this quirkiness about your personality, and I don't know you yet. I promise you that there's a sassiness about your personality, right? I promise you that there is this stern mom, but also a loving mom in that person too, because you have a little one. Am I correct so far?
Yeah.
So then let the world see that. Now I get to be whoever the heck I am. And now the world gets to see whoever the heck I am. And then I sprinkle some knowledge on them too along the way. That's how you build a brand. So I like what you're doing already. lean straight into that. Lean straight into that. So thank you for contributing. Thank you for being on. Thank you for putting your camera on. Let's go over to Daniela. Daniela, I don't know who was in your group. Do you want to be a representative for your group?
Yes. Oh my God. I had the best group. Sorry, y'all. We had Brandy and Erica and Stephanie and Kelly and Jacob, and everyone had some really great goals. And so we're gonna create our little group chat to make sure that we hold each other accountable for the week. Brandy is going to master her buyer consult. Erica is going to be out in Mexico, but she's going to create some really great content that she's going to bring over this way. I'm not going to spoil it because it's going to be dope. Stephanie is the grant queen, and she's really going to own that on social, and she's going to show us why she is the grant queen. Kelly is going to start making her dials and start getting in touch with her sphere, and she's also going to make some Instagram reels. Jacob has a buyer consult today, so he's gonna lock in that relationship with the buyers, and I am going to get some listing agreements signed. And what else did I say? Oh, and I'm gonna make my own content because I never make my own content. So
God,
hold each other accountable.
But you do. I mean, your content, I mean, most of the time lives in your stories. And so I think you can follow the journey of, you know, whether it's life, whether it's Bella, whether it's puppy, whether it is, you know, out on the town, whatever it is. So I think we follow that. But I love that. I love that you knew what everyone's goals were from your group. And here's what I didn't hear. I didn't hear any stories, no excuses, and no bullshit. And I appreciate that at a very high level. So let's go to Brianna Tejeda. Brianna, who is in your group? Let's hear from, yes, you, Sunshine, doing your laundry. I see it. You're here, you're present. That's all that matters. Let's go, Brianna. Let's hear from you. First, start off with your own goals. What are you committed to? No excuses, no bullshit, no stories to achieving this week. Let's go.
Well, I agree with everything Daniela said, but I do have to say, I think we had the best group. Just saying.
Wait, who was in her group? Raise your hand or put an emoji if you were in her group, because now we have some clear competition. I like this. Represent. Let's go. First, what are you committed to this week?
We are all, our group was all newbies. So we all had very similar goals. And I get so nervous talking in front of everyone.
That's all right. Keep going.
So everyone, it was pretty similar. We were gonna all focus on, I'm doing my onboarding today. So my goal, everything team fast. This whole week is just getting onboarding, getting focused, learning everything. Everyone else's goals were very similar. Posting on social media, whether it be reels, open houses. Everyone brought up their 30-day checklist, and I think that was pretty much it.
Good. I love it.
No excuses. No one had excuses. No one had stories. Everyone was focused, positive, and ready to go.
Yeah, listen, you guys, be that friend. And that friend is the one that doesn't coddle and doesn't listen. Oh, yeah, you didn't, it was hot. You didn't door knock. Oh my God, you're a mom. You didn't door. No, I'm the friend that's going to be like, dude, get your shit together and let's go out there and get this money. Like, what are you waiting for?
Yes, like, put some deodorant on and grab a bottle of water, girl. Get it going.
Right? I'm scared. Well, then go with 4 people. They're not going to steal all 4 of you. Like, let's just go out there. Let's go out there and have some fun, right? Let's go. Because you're going to have one conversation with somebody like, so glad that you guys came by. I'm actually thinking about selling my home. So I love this.
Like a fat guy like me, you can outrun them and they won't be able to steal them.
They're not going to take all 4 of you. So good stuff. Appreciate you, Brianna. Thanks for being here. Melody, let's go to you. Let's have you be the representative from your group. First off, talk to me about your goals, what you're committed to taking action on this week to move the needle in your business. And then if you want to share any of the contributions from your group, your pod, your breakout room. Let's go, Melody.
I actually, so sorry, got booted off and just reconnected right after you guys got back from the group.
So let's just hear from you then. What is one goal that you're committed to put into action this week that's going to move your needle?
Yeah, actually, I'm really excited. I'm in the Walnut Creek office right now. I pulled out the whiteboard. I am going to map out my entire process of what I do with every single buyer. And that's going to be on one section of the whiteboard. Then I'm going to map out every little process of what I do with my sellers. And what I did over the last week, ever since Synergy session on Thursday, was I actually bought a template off of Etsy for my buyer's presentation and my seller's presentation, which if you guys haven't checked it out, don't sleep on Etsy. I think it's so dope what you could purchase off there. And I'm just going to redo my entire listing presentation and my buyer's presentation. That's different than having a buyer's guide because I already have that. I'm talking about like my actual consultation when I sit down with my buyers. And I just want to make sure I'm like hitting every point. I want this to be just a reflection of me and my brand. And I really want to map out every little thing that we do and all the minutia that we go through with our clients to be able to really present that to them. So I'm excited.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. This is separation season. Separation season, because we've said this time and time again. This book, God, you guys get this book. Just go. I don't even know. It's not even a mainstream book, but it's The Compelling Communicator. And in this book, it talks about our comprehension. We've talked about this many times. We understand at a very high level what we do for our consumers, right? I think that we're all astute. We understand at a very, very high level, and we rank that very high. But our ability to present what we actually know, that's what needs the refining. That's what needs more preparation. That's what needs more help, especially now with the changes that are happening with NAR. So, Melody, I really appreciate that conversation at a very high level. Let's go to Demian. Demian, I know that you're in the gym, my man. Who was in your group? And let's hear with you starting, what are your goals for the week? Where are you committed to taking action on? Let's go, Demian.
Oh, I'm over here out of breath.
I can go to somebody else if you want.
Yeah, maybe in a second, but I'll tell you about mine. Just have the intention to write some offers this week. I was saying that I have clients that are actively searching, but nothing that's on the fire right now. Nobody's saying I want to write an offer on a specific property. So by the end of the week, I'm writing some offers for somebody and getting in contract next week.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. All right, let's go to one other group before we wrap sesh. Who else wants to represent from their group? Feel free to throw your hand up. Represent for your group. Don't be shy. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
Natalie.
Oh, okay, look at Natalie. I like it. Just threw you out there. I like this. Let's go.
I said I would since I never speak. So for myself, I want to get back on social media. I'm going to get a different job to free up my days so that I can be here and be present and be in all of the trainings and coachings. So Paul said that they would do 3 meetings, 5 to 10 conversations, and being more selective about their open houses that they choose to do. Chris is going to go to some networking events this week, and knock on 25 doors and do 2 videos. And Kaleem is going to call all their notaries. Yeah.
Good. I love it. And listen, the fact that Kaleem said Natalie, I love this for you and I love this for him, because when you have somebody that might not want to speak up on coaching, this is our opportunity, you guys. This is our opportunity to really get better and perfect the way that we public speak, because every single person on this call probably has some level of fear about public speaking, but each of you are public speakers. Each of you are public speakers. We all have the fear of being a public speaker. Oh my God, I don't want to talk. You're all public speaker. When you do a Zoom presentation, when you do a buyer's consultation, when you do a listing presentation, when you're on social media, guess what? Now you're a public speaker. So refine your skills here. Don't do it in front of
Hi Elias. We had picked on our team that we're gonna have Natalie represent us because she said she has never spoken before.
Awesome. I think she's spoken once or twice, but yeah, she's very quiet. Man, I appreciate you doing that for her. So you guys, let's just wrap, you guys. Once again, we went back to the influence. I was thinking back of a time where I felt like I was influential. Christina Darrow, the glam agent, asked me to officiate her wedding. And if you've ever been asked to officiate a wedding, it's probably one of the hardest things that you'll ever do. And so I thought back on it. I was like, why did that presentation land? It's because I used humor to open up the room. I used my heart to connect with everybody. I used their love and the bond to really bring the whole conversation together, or the whole presentation together. And then I was brief. I didn't keep everybody in the heat, in their seats. They were able to get back to the love and the party. And so I was thinking about that. That's why that landed, and that's why that was influential. But you guys, it's Monday. This is your opportunity. I have goals just like you guys. I have a buyer's consultation workshop this week. I have a buyer presentation workshop that I'm doing with my coach that we're offering outside of this environment. I have synergy sessions this week. I have tons of appointments that I already have on my calendar. So this week is going to be a super, super busy week. So when I think of my highest and best use of my time, it's attracting agents to our company. It's helping to lead this company, and it's helping to coach, train, and develop the humans that are in my world. That is my specialty. That's what I'll continue to do. And so I look at my calendar and say, how much of that am I actually going to do this week? And my calendar is full, and it will become even more full as the week progresses. So you guys, let's go out there. Let's move our needles. Let's have some fun. Let's go out there and remember your box and all things that you want to do, right? No excuses, no bullshit, and no stories. There ain't no time for that. Go out there and produce results. As always, you guys, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Have an amazing Monday.
Elias, real quick, can you put up the book that you were, I know, can you put up that book? Not that one, the other one. The first one you put up, the black one.
That one is called Amplify Your Influence by Renee Rodriguez. God, incredible reads. You know me. I love to read. Guys,
thank you, brother. Sorry about that. Didn't
No
mean
worries.
to break you up, but I just wanted to make sure I got that
All
picture
right.
real quick.
Peace, you guys. Love